Om. Om. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamatsyadirlaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. So last time we saw Buddhi Yogam Dadami, Bhagavan has said that whoever loves me just because, just there's no ulterior motive, there is no demand, he's not an artha, he's not an artharthi, he's not a jnyasu, and definitely he's not a jnani, because jnani is a realized master. So there is this fifth category of person who is just doesn't want anything, he just loves Bhagwan, and so he worships Bhagwan, he prays. To such people, Bhagwan said, I give Buddhi Yoga. What is Buddhi Yoga? Is that Buddhi, that intellect, which is taking him more and more closer towards the Lord. Bhagwan gives that Buddhi. And I gave you the example of Tulsi Dashi, whose wife said to him that if you had this kind of attachment towards Lord Rama, then Lord Rama himself would have given you darshan, and that changed his whole life. That is Buddhi Yoga. Or in the case of Arjun also, when he had a lot of sorrow that I have to now kill my own grandfather and my own guru, then Bhagwan put him in front of, he brought a situation such that Arjun surrendered. So his sorrow became Buddhi Yoga. Because sorrow can take us dogward also, like I said. It can take us into drugs and drinking and everything. But then Arjun turned towards the Lord. So any time, any situation, any object, anything that happens in your life, if you turn towards the Lord, and how is that? If when joy comes, instead of saying, see, I did it, saying, thank you, Lord, I got this joy. When sorrow comes, you say, now you have given me the sorrow, please give me the strength. So anytime you turn towards the Lord, anything that happens in your life and you're turning towards the Lord, it becomes Buddhi Yoga. That is Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi by itself is for the material world. So when you want to, be successful in life and climb up the corporate ladder, this, that, etc., etc., anything external. I gave you the example of the axe and the blade. Axe is for cutting the tree. Blade is for cutting a beard. You cannot interchange them. So Buddhi is like the axe for the external world. Buddhi Yoga is that which is making you introverted, which is making you turn towards the Lord, which is giving you thoughts about the Lord. Anything that way, Bhagavan says, I give that Buddhi Yoga. And why? To light the lamp of knowledge in their mind. Jnana Deepa Bhasvata. Why do I give them the Buddhi Yoga? Is to light what knowledge? Knowledge of the oneness between him and me, that devotee and me. That knowledge I want to give. And I told you the Jnana Deepa is a metaphor. It's the mind is the lamp. The oil or the ghee is the devotion. The wick is the Shat Sampati, because the person has, if he's praying that much to the Lord, he is, Shama, Dama, all is, the Shat Sampati is there, Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana, all is there. That is the wick. And then the air is the thoughts of the Lord, because he's constantly worshiping the Lord without having any ulterior motive. So the air, because for a lamp to burn, oxygen is required, air is required, not a heavy wind, but air is required. You cannot have a flame without any air. So the air represents the thoughts in his mind of the Lord. because that is what he's continuously thinking about. And the winds of desire are not there. Winds are compared to the desires. When the desires for the external world come in our mind, the lamp flickers. But those are not there. And this lamp, Bhagavan says, this is what I do for them. I give them Buddhi Yoga, by which this lamp is lit in their minds. Okay? Then Dhyana Deepena Bhaswata, 11, correct. And so after that, then we have Arjuna Uvacha. Now, Arjuna is going to say a few verses. He is asking a question. He's going to be asking a question, and he's creating the atmosphere for that by praising the Lord. So 12 and 13 I told you, these are adjectives in 12. There are adjectives for Bhagwan. Param Brahma, you are the Supreme Lord. So we have seen Para and Apara in chapter 7, Para and Apara Brahma, right? And Turiya. So this Param Brahma, when he says, he doesn't mean Ishvara, he actually means Turiya, supreme, indicating to us that he knows now. This is chapter 10, okay? So after 10 chapters of listening, 9 chapters of listening to Bhagwan, he knows that this who is standing in front of me is truly the pure self. He knows that. Param, that's why these adjectives are come. Param Dhama, abode. I told you, the abode of, there are abodes of Vishnu, Vaikuntha, and this and that and everything. But this is Param, from where there is no return. From the other abodes, it is a point of return. You could return. Okay, but this is Param. Pavitram, that which protects you from the thunderbolt of Indra. Pavihi, Trayate iti Pavitra. And thunderbolt of Indra indicates death, because if you're struck by the thunderbolt of Indra, there's no chance that you will survive. So that which protects you from the fear of death, that is what Bhagwan is. How does he protect us from the fear of death? By telling us, by making us realize that we are immortal. Like in the Atma Bodh class, I told you the description is Nityam, eternal. I am eternal. So that realization, when I get, there will be no fear of death, because there is no escaping death for the body. Body is going to die. Okay. So Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Bhavan, you, thou. Bhavan actually doesn't mean you, thou, aap. In Hindi, aap, not tu, aap. Respectful. Bhavan. Purusham, this Purusham is not Purishayanat Purusha. Purishayanat Purusha is one who is sleeping in the city of 9 gates. No. That is Jiva. This Purusham is Shashwatam, eternal, indicating supreme, again, eternal, beyond time, no birth, no death, Divyam, divine, Adi Deva, the first God, Adi first. From you, all the other deities have come. Ajam, unborn, Vibhum, all-pervading. Vividham bhavati iti vibhum. That is the break of that word. Vividham bhavati means, Vividha means in many varieties when you become. So you are one, and then you have become human beings, you have become reptiles, you have become birds, you have become ocean, mountain, everything. You have Vividham bhavati, to become. Vividha is variety. So all this variety that I see in the world, Vividha, you have become. That's why you're Vibhum. You are the one that has become everything in this world. And then this is Ahuhus Tvam Risha. This is being said. This has been said by the rishis. This is what now he gives a list in 13. Who says it? Sarve Devarshi Narad also. He also describes you like this. That's what he's saying. This is what I've heard from all these people. Asito, Sita, I told you, stitched, unstitched. So this is the rishi, the monks or rishis, they are from the Sankhya philosophy. They're called Asita. They are actually drishta or seers. They are the seers of the truth. That is what Asita is. Devalo, Deva, the deities. So Indra, Varuna, etc. All the deities. Vyasa Bhagwan, Ved Vyasa also, he calls you like that. Swayam Chaiba Bravishi Me. And the same, you are also saying that, right? He's saying you have to reach me. So this is what we had covered. And now Arjun is still continuing. So he says, सर्वमेतद्धृतं मन्ये यन्मां वदसि केशव न हि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देवान दानवाः. I believe all this that you say to me as true. I believe. I believe, okay? O Keshava, verily, O blessed Lord, neither the Devas nor the Danavas know your manifestation, identity, your manifest. So he says the gods and the Asuras, we have all these two categories of, deities. So Asura doesn't mean Rakshasa. And Asura is one who is identified with the body. Okay, so there are Asuras right now also. They are not ugly or anything like that, demons. They are just identified with the body very much. That is what Asura is. So he says, Dhritam Mane, you tell me, Vadasi Keshava, Ka representing knowledge, Sha, Ashava, Shava, Ashava, Keshava, Ka, and then Ashava raise. It means raise. One break of this word Keshav. One break is Ka, Sha, and Va. Ka is Brahmaji, Sha is Shiva, and Va is Vishnu. So that is one break, Keshava. But this is also another break. These are various interpretations of the same name. Kar representing knowledge, and then Ashava representing raise. It means raise. So your raise of knowledge. So you are knowledgeable. You're very knowledgeable. Okay, depends on what is being asked. Now he's going to ask information, right? He's asking knowledge. So this Keshava now is interpreted that way. Previously, if there's something else, Keshava is interpreted. That's how these names are interpreted in different ways. So he says, I know that there is no mortals who don't know you, only even devas and asuras also don't know you, your manifestations, like how you manifest in this world. They don't, because Vibhum, he said, right? Vividham bhavati, you have become the variety, but exactly how and where I should see you, this is what he's asking. He's asking, tell me your vibhutis. I told you this chapter is meant for those who are gross-minded. Okay, for those who can think subtly, then chapter 7 is done. He told, Sutre Managena Eva, he already told, I am the thread. Look at the thread. Those people who cannot look at the thread, they are looking at the gems. So he says, okay, no problem. I will tell you where to find me in the gems. I will tell you where to find me in this world. Your vision is extroverted. Your mind is extroverted. Now, in that external world, I will tell you where to find me. And that is what Vibhuti is. We saw yoga and Vibhuti, right? Yoga Sthiti and Vibhuti Sthiti. Don't forget that. Vibhuti is the manifestation. Yoga is the unmanifestation. Those who cannot understand that unmanifestation, then they need to start understanding God in the manifested world. And this is what Arjun is now saying. Okay, tell me, you told me, chapter 7, you told me there, Rasoham Apsi Kaunte, etc. I am the strength in the strong. I am the, the sapidity in the water. I am the heat in the fire. Everything that you told me, now you tell me how to. This is for us also. So for us only, actually, and I shouldn't say also. So in the world, please tell me. This is what he's creating, that atmosphere. He's praising the teacher. So how the teacher feels good. Now listener is also very attentive and that way. Okay. So neither they was, so they also don't know. Now you tell me what they don't know. You tell me yourself. Okay. स्वयमेवात्मनात्मानं वेत्थ त्वं पुरुषोत्तम भूतभावनभूतेश देवदेव जगत्पते. Verily, you yourself know yourself by yourself. Okay? O Purushottama, Supreme Lord, Supreme Purusha, O source of beings, O Lord of beings, O God of gods, O ruler of the world. There can be no more praise than this, right? He's praising. He's praising, genuinely praising, not. See, one can praise if there is some ulterior motive also, someone can praise somebody else. That is also there. But this is genuine. Arjun is straightforward, no? The meaning of Arjun, Arjanat Arjun. So the one who is straightforward, straight like an arrow he was. So he's very straightforward, very innocent that way. So he says, who can be the best person to tell me about you? suppose if you want information about anybody, me or anybody, who is the best person to tell you than that person himself or herself, right? That is what the meaning is. You yourself, you know who you are, because see, Ishvara, even Ishvara, we said, Ishvara knows who he is, and he knows also all the jivas. We do, whatever we know is very limited, and that too we don't know ourselves very well. Forget knowing everybody else. So he says, you know. In chapter 4, he said, I take birth keeping Maya under my control. Right? Whenever, yada yada dharmasya, whenever there is a fall in dharma, I keeping Maya under my own control, I manifest as the way I want. So it's not a forced birth like ours. Ours is a forced birth. Forced by whom? Forced by our own karmas. His is not forced by his karmas. He has taken birth out of his free will. He has free will. That's why he chose, I will be born in the uh, jail in the middle of the night. All he chose. He was the director and the actor both. He said, that's where I'm going to be born. And Sri Rama, he said, no, I'll be born in the palace at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. In broad daylight, I will be born in the palace. Have a very happy childhood. So it is their decision, avatar, okay? Now, Purushottama, chapter 14, this word comes. Purushottama, there is the uh, Uttara and Uttama Purusha. So there is the Kshara, Akshara, and then the above that. So it's Para, Apara, and Turiya. This Purushottama is the Uttama Purusha. So there is the first person, the second person, and the Jiva, Ishvara, and then on top is Turiya. So Ishvara and Jiva both are vibhutis of that yoga sthiti, which is the Om, pure consciousness, Purushottama. Purusha, Uttama. Kshara, beyond Kshara and Akshara Purusha. Kshara is Jiva, where Akshara is Ishvara, because is not destructible. But in the ultimate analysis, Ishvara also merges into the Lord, into Brahman. So Purushottama is Brahman. So Bhuta Bhavana, creator of the world. So you are so he has understood that you are the cause of all the beings. Bhutesha, Bhuta Isha, Isha controller, Bhuta beings. So you're the controller of all the beings. How does he be the controller of all the beings? It means as Ishvara. Brahman is, understand that when we talk about creation, we are always talking about Ishvara. We cannot say Brahman is the control of the world. Why? Because when we reach Brahman, there is no world. World disappears. So this is at the stage of Ishvara. So he says, I know you're Purushottama, I know you are that Brahman, but I also know that you are Ishvara. You only are Ishvara. You only are Jiva. Remember that. He only is Jiva, Brahman only is Ishvara. Now here he's saying, that's why he says, as creator, when creation comes into being, Ishvara comes into picture. He already said, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. I told you, there also Aham is Ishvara, who is the creator of this world through his power of Maya, because Maya has got Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, and they modify and the world is come. So he says, I know you're the creator of the world. By saying Purushottama, he said, I know you are Yoga Sthiti. That is pure consciousness. I know you're Ishvara, because he's saying you're the creator of the world. Not only are you the creator of the world, you're also the controller of the world. And in chapter 18, he says, I control by being inside. So the example given is, of a cloth. So if that cloth is made out of thread, now if that thread is a cotton thread, which cotton shrinks, so what will happen is that thread, those threads that make up that cloth, they control the cloth, because if that thread shrinks, that cloth is going to shrink. If that thread loosens, expands, then that cloth is going to become very loose. That way, this Ishvara residing within us, he controls us. That is how the control is. So that is controls through, and through what is this happening? Through our vasanas. That's why the push of the vasanas is there. That is where he comes into picture. That is how he controls. How does he control the world? Controls the world by being within the beings. Bhutesha. Deva, God of gods means first God is From you, Adi Devna, he already said you're Adi Deva. So all these other gods who Indra is there, Varuna is there, Brahaspati, Brahmaji, all the deities that we know, they have come from you. They have come from you. Jagatpate, the Lord of the worlds. Pati is Lord, Pati, Jagatpate. So you are the Lord of the. So what he is telling Bhagwan is that I know that you are the Purushottama, you are the supreme being as well as you are Ishvara who has done all this. But who can explain to me better than you yourself? If I know this much about you, then you know even more about yourself. So you're the best person to explain all this to me. Vaktumarhasya sheshena divyāhyātma vibhūtayah yābhir vibhūtibhir lokaha lokan imanstvam vyapya tishtasi. You should indeed, without reserve, tell me of your divine glories by which you exist, pervading all these worlds. So the here he's saying without reserve means in detail you tell me. Without reserve is what? Without in detail. Bhagwan doesn't have that kind of time. Upanishadic gurus had that time, but Bhagwan doesn't. But Arjun is, now he's like, okay, just tell me everything. Your divine divine glories is vibhuti. I know you are that unmanifested yoga. I know that. But how you manifest in this world? What are your vibhutis in this world? Please tell me without reserve, by which you existing, pervading all these words. So you are all pervading. I know that, right? By saying you're pervading. I know you're all pervading. But then how do you appear? How do you manifest in this world? You're pervading as the sutra. Now tell me how you manifest as the Mani. Sutre Manigana Eva. This is the expansion of Mani. Sutra he explained in chapter 7. This is a continuation of that. Now you tell me this Mani, these gems that you're saying, and you stay pervading everything, yet you remain untouched. Just in the morning class we saw, I am like that space, which is pervading within and without. And yet I am untouched. Space is always untouched. So if space is even untouched, Brahman is even subtler than space. So definitely Brahman is untouched by whatever that is happening. We have given you the example of the rope and the snake. No matter how poisonous the snake is, the rope always remains untouched, because it is the substratum never gets affected by anything that is superimposed on it. Like the movie screen, there could be a murder, there could be blood, there could be love, there could be romance, but the screen remains totally free. Apart from everything that is happening, this is how everything in the world is happening. Jagmag jagmag karta hua jag. Jagat is, well, that is twinkles. Everything is twinkling, but the substratum is not twinkling, it remains the same. This is what he's saying. So tell me, Vyapya Tishtasi. Tishtasi means you're staying in this, Vyapya pervading. You are staying in this entire world, pervading the entire world. Now tell me without reserve your manifestations. Katham vidyamaham yogim tvam sada parichintayan keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. How shall I, ever meditating, know you, O yogin? In what aspects of forms, O blessed Lord, are you to be thought of by me? So now he's saying, how do I meditate when I'm looking at the external world? Because if he's subtle-minded, if the seeker is very subtle-minded, then he can think of the yoga sthiti. He can think of that. But for us, keshu, so katham vidyamam. So how do I know you, O yogin? Your yoga sthiti is there, but how? I am not that much evolved in my mind. So tell me how. Keshu, in what bhava do I see you in this world? Where do I see you in this world? manifested world, when I'm looking at the external world, where chintyosi bhagavan maya, how do I, chintyosi is to think. This is not chinta, worry. It is thought, meditate. How do I, in what, where do I look and how do I meditate on you? That is, this whole chapter is about this. So he's asking him, okay, which are the specific forms where I should see you? Actually, honestly speaking, I've told you this many, many times. Every single thing must remind us of God. Every single thing. But he's saying, tell me the main. Now, Bhagwan is only going to tell the main point. That's what Bhagwan is now going to say. If I start telling you without reserve, then that's it. We'll be here only. He forgot the war, but Bhagwan didn't forget the war, that there's a war impending there, right? So he says, just tell me, how do I know you? Next. विस्तरेणात्मनो योगं विभूतिं च जनार्दन भूय कथय तृप्तिर्हि शृण्वतो नास्ति मे मृतम्. Tell me again in detail. Oh, Janardana, he has all the time in the world. He's you see it also when he says in detail, it tells us he likes what Bhagwan is telling him. See, if somebody is speaking, you say, tell me in detail. You say, Arey Baba, chalo, jaldi, jaldi, karo and finish it. And let's do it. there was one Swamiji. So he's into devotion very much and puja, elaborate puja. So when we were there in the ashram, there was some puja coming up, Guruji, Swami Tejwan said, "Jada detail mein nahi hai, jaldi jaldi karo." I was there. He said that because he knows that. He says, "Jaldi jaldi is what puja, Swamiji?" He asked. What jaldi jaldi? And that is not puja. Detail, because Guruji is like quick. So, because he likes to do the puja, he is a Devi Bhakta. He loves to, all 16 steps in elaborate, and then ultimately he did that only, even though whatever Guruji said. But Guruji is like, if Guruji does the puja, he will do, I have seen him do puja, Paduka puja also. Just tuck, 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 that way he will do, Guruji. But when there are these people who are very much into this puja, then they do this elaborate. Anyway, so Vistarane, in Vistara means, expands. You expand all your vibhutis. Yoga and vibhuti, you tell me. Janardana, Jana is people, and one meaning, and Ardhana is destruction. Ardhana is killing or destruction. So one meaning of Janardana is you are the destroyer of wicked people. Here it's not, this Jana should be only taken as wicked people. So when we look at Bhagwan Shri Krishna's life, right from the beginning, Putana was there, Shaktasur was there, Kamsa was there, all the bad people he killed, right? So that is one meaning. One meaning of Jana is Maya. Maya, Prakriti. So he said, by using the word Janardana, he says, kill the Maya. What is standing between us and Bhagwan is Maya. Prakriti is what is standing, that is ego. Maya, Prakriti, the delusory thought that I am the one that is doing everything. That is Maya. What is Maya? Simply put, Maya is I am the body, I am the mind, and I am the one that is doing, and I am the one that will enjoy. Simple explanation of Maya is that. Simplest. Other explanations are there. So what he's saying by saying, Janardana, you're the killer of Maya. You kill this Maya where I think that I am doing, I'm enjoying, I am the body. Kill that thought. That is what he's using Janardana here. Bhuya kataha triptirhi. I do not feel satisfied. That's what tells us that he's really loving what Bhagwan is telling him. He says, I don't feel, I want to hear more and more and more. Your nectarine words. Shunvato nasti me amritam. Your words are like amrita. Here, amrita, not nectar. Amrita is nectar. So nectarine words, right? Sweet words. I'm thoroughly enjoying that. You tell me in detail. So this much background he has lagaud maska Bombay language to Bhagwan. Like you can understand. So Somebody saying so many things. You're the creator, you're the, controller, you're this, you're that, everything. I love to hear you. That other person to finish, he will be going on and on and on. But Bhagwan is Bhagwan. And Bhagwan doesn't forget there is a war impending. So Bhagwan starts now. श्रीभगवानुवाच हन्त मे कथयिष्यामि दिव्याह्यात्मविभूतयः प्राधान्यत्य कुरु श्रेष्ठ नास्त्यन्तो विस्तरस्य मे. The blessed Lord said, alas, Hanta, alas. Now I will declare to you my divine glories, eminent in their prominence, O best of the Kurus. There is no end to the details of my extent. So there is no end. Means if I begin, there is no end. That means that's it. We'll be here for till the cows come home. We'll be here only. So he says, I cannot do that. That's why he said. So what I will do, Hanta. Alas means here, it's not, alas, not a sad thing. But he says to you, he said, how can I tell you in detail? How can I? I cannot, because there is no end to my vibhutis if I go into detail. So what I'll pradhanatya, means principle. The main ones I will tell you, 73 he's going to tell even then in this thing. So the main ones I will tell you, you may have forgotten there is a war, but I haven't. We are standing right here on the battlefield and we have to fight the war. There's no ifs or buts about that. So eminent in their prominence. So the important ones I will tell you, best of the Kurus, Kuru Shrestha. So he's born in the Kuru clan, right? So Kuru Shrestha. So these just verses. There is no like any kind of hidden meaning or anything like that. So from 12 to this means so far what Arjun said, and Bhagwan is just saying that now. And now he starts his teaching. Okay, that means this particular thing. So when we talk of vibhutis and we have been talking about the external world, I have always told you many, many times that if we want to realize God, God is there in the external world, everywhere, all pervading, but we cannot look for him in there. We have to know where he is, that he is there. But if I want to reach him, I cannot look there. And therefore now Bhagwan starts with his subjective vibhuti. Within us, what is his vibhuti? That is where Bhagwan starts. And the reason he starts there is he's telling Arjun that, yes, I will tell you these vibhutis in the external world, but if you really want to reach me, this is the verse that you have to concentrate on, because this is subjectively where you will find me inside, and that's where you have to find me first. Then you go out into the world. That's what indirectly this message is. So this is 20 is the most important verse here. Buddhi Yoga also is very important. This is very important because this is where we need to concentrate. Like, how do I reach God? How do I reach God? Inside. Inside. Okay, not outside. Now let's see. Ahamatma gudakesh sarvabhutashaya sthitah ahamadishcha madhyam cha bhutanamanta eva cha. I am the self. He started, see, I am the self. That Jiva Brahma Aikya, finish. Mahavakya, right in Bhagavad Gita. When he says, I am the self, O Gudakesha, seated in the hearts of all beings. So look where? Look within yourself. Don't try to look somewhere else. I am the beginning, the middle, and also the end of all beings. So let's start with the word Gudakesha. This is the Adhikari. Gudakesha is a word used for Arjun, name of Arjun, and Gudakesha means one who has conquered sleep. So it is said that Arjun could go on for a month or months without sleeping and fighting. Without sleeping means not just sitting there. He could fight 24 hours a day for almost a month or even more. That's why he earned that name of Gudakesha. So what does that indicate? tamas is reduced considerably. So what does it indicate to us? That tamas has to be reduced. If we want to understand, if we want to go in search of God, tamas has to be reduced a lot. Inertia, procrastination, that has to be reduced. Gudakesha. Aham, very, very important word. That which can never be destroyed. Hum is destruction. Aham, that which cannot be destroyed. I am within you, within all beings. And beings word is used, not manusha. I told you, beings, bhut word, when it is used, it includes plants, it includes animals, reptiles, everything. Bhu is the one which has become. So everything that is born is bhuta. Bhuta, of course, ghost, but not ghost. Okay. Bhuta is that which is born. So we are all born. So when he says, I am the same, I am within all beings. So includes everybody. Of course, the animals and reptiles and birds and plants, they don't have this adhikar of liberation because they don't understand that. But Bhagavan is saying, I'm there too. And we saw that in the morning class. I'm the same in all. This is also the indication that he's the same. He has said, I'm same in Duryodhana and I'm same in Arjun, indicating that no, there is no difference in the consciousness principle within all of us. Sarva bhuta ashaya stitaha is the break of the next word. Sarva, all. Okay, we have to understand this word clearly. Sarva, all. Bhuta, everything, whoever is born. Bhuta. Bhu bhavati, one that has become. So everybody who is born. Ashaya means samskara. Samskara means vasanas. Stitaha, staying. Sthita, sthadhatu, to stay. So sarva, bhuta and sthita, very easy to understand. Okay. So he is staying in all the beings as ashaya. I am, look for me there. Now, ashaya means samskara. How is he staying in the vasana layer? That is what he's explaining here. He's telling Arjun. So what it is, we are all familiar with aluminum foil. Foil is there, right? Which we cover on things and stuff like that. Now, there is a foil, and now you take a coin. So, loonie, toonie, quarter, whatever coin. Now, you press it hard against that foil. So, when you press it, then what will happen? There'll be an indent there, right? You will see the form, the round, and, whatever the thing will come there. All right? That indent, that is asha, that is vasana, that is the now, okay, the indent is there. You show that thing to somebody else, right? Oh, they'll say, oh, this is a toonie. They will say this is a toonie or a loonie. But is it a toonie or a loonie, or is it the foil itself? It is the foil itself, right? Okay. So this vasana that I have, whatever, it doesn't matter, happy, sad, whatever, he is saying, look for me there. I am that substratum on which this vasana indent has happened. That is what he means here. Sarva bhuta ashaya stitaha. I stay in the vasanas of all the beings. How? How? Like this indent. So that indent, even though it may appear as a toonie, it may appear as a loonie, quarter, whatever coin that you have put. So it may appear happy, it may appear good, it may appear bad, it is foil alone. So it is the substratum alone. It is me alone, which means what? What is vasanas doing? What is the purpose of vasana? Is to create a thought in the mind, right? So if vasanas he is staying, that means is he not in the thought as well? Because thought has come from vasana. He said, I am in the ashaya. That's why he's using ashaya I am. Not even thought, even there, even subtler. Vasana is subtler than thought. Because even I don't know my own vasanas. Thought I know. Once it comes into thought level, I know. Vasana, I don't know. He says, I am there. That is where you look for me. That is my vibhuti. Now what he's telling, what is the meaning? That indent is my vibhuti. Foil, if you ask foil, so indent is vibhuti, foil is yoga sthiti. The plain foil is, so he is the foil. So he says that indent of thought of vasana, happy, whatever vasana, is vibhuti, and yoga sthiti is that on which this thought. So vasana is giving rise to thought. So whatever thought is arising, go beyond thought. You want to know me, na? That thought is my vibhuti. That is where you start. Then you go outside. Then it is very simple. But this is the most important. Sarva bhuta ashaya sthitaha. The so idea is, look within yourself. What happens when a thought comes? What do we say? I thought about it and I did it, right? That is what we say. That is what is our natural reaction. How did this thought has come? That's why I always told you, when you get a good thought, you say, thank you, Lord, you gave me this thought. That when you change it to you gave me this thought, instead of I thought and I did, Buddhi Yoga. Now you're turning towards the Lord. Now you're from his vibhuti, you're going to yoga sthiti. Vibhuti is the thought. Thought is vibhuti because it is seen. It is perceived. Vibhuti is that which is perceived. Yoga sthiti is that which is not perceived. But from this known, we have to go to the unknown. Known is thought. From thought, how do we? That's why he's saying, I am the one. Sthita, I am staying in the vasana, which means I am in the thought, because thought is coming from vasana. So no matter what thought comes to your mind, you must think of me. That is how you will reach me. So that's why it is said mind minus thought. That's why mind is coming from the sattvic aspect of all the elements. Mind without thought is pure consciousness. Thoughts appear in consciousness. And thought gives rise to action. That is how the hierarchy is, right? It's in the vasana. That's why any thought that comes into your mind, it cannot come unless there is a vasana. Okay. And then when the thought comes, the one way of dissolving or negating the vasana is not acting on the thought. Don't act on the thought. Okay. Now let's see this also, because thought will give rise to action. Okay. Right? Thought will give rise to action. So I get whatever thought I get, angry thought, whatever thought, and now I'm acting. So now if he's in the vasana, that means he is in the thought, and that means he's behind the action as well. What do I say? I did. And I got result. And I am going to enjoy that result. That's why behind the act, if he is behind the vasana, he's behind the thought, he's behind also the action. One way of dissolving, what is the whole purpose of avoiding, what is giving us next birth? Vasanas, right? We are creating more and more and more vasanas. As we exhaust, we have got this birth, we have got this field of experience to exhaust our vasanas. What mistake we are doing is that, yeah, we are exhausting our vasanas, but while exhausting those vasanas, we are creating more vasanas. That is what the people who are not into this knowledge, that is how it is happening for them. So they are creating a blueprint for their next birth, and they don't even know that. Now we know that. How the blueprint is happening, we know. Now, how do I avoid that blueprint? This is what he says. Know that I am behind. So if I am behind, every credit, everything should come to me. It is because of you that I had this thought. It is because of you that I could do this action. It is because of you that everything is happening. And then, therefore, whatever result comes is because of you, and I accept. Whatever comes, I accept. And that is the way of reducing the vasanas. Even in dream, I've told you, when we dream is the best, all the weak vasanas are getting exhausted in dream because there is no doership. There is no doership. So vasanas are there. Good vasanas, you execute. You execute good vasanas. And there, don't take credit for that good action. So what you've done, that vasana was there. Because you see, when we say, it is not like good vasanas will not give us birth. Good vasanas also will give us birth. Vasanas will give us birth. Good or bad doesn't matter. Okay. Now, good vasana comes as a thought. You do the action because it's a good action. You want to do charity, you want to help somebody, you want to whatever. Good. You do it, but don't take ownership of it. Knowing this, sarva bhuta ashaya stitaha, knowing this, don't take ownership. Now, what you have done is that good vasana you have exhausted. Bad vasana, when it comes into your mind, it'll come as a bad thought. Don't act on it. Don't act on that negative thought. Why should I help this one? Why should I this thing? Last time they didn't help me. Why should I help them? Why should any kind of bad? Why should I give them charity? Just yesterday, my son said to me, "Mom, all the charities, most of them, the fees are going in administration. Most of the money is going in administration," he said. And of course, he has got this 100 best charities list, which was sent me. And he said, "You should only give to those." I said, "You know what, Neil? They can do whatever, but I am giving it out of a good thought. I am giving it. So whatever they do, it's okay. I give. And I said that is how money is purified. Whatever that I am, well, working wherever it is pure. So so look only at don't think, oh, that, oh, 50% goes into administration. Why I should give that charity? But at least 50% they are helping people, no? You understand? That is what this is. That is what. So say, okay, Lord, you've given the, okay, not, you can't give thousands of dollars, give $10, $5, whatever, You said that's why they keep telling you, sending you all these emails and a whole bunch of, I said, it's okay. It's okay. So you do good from your side. You don't worry. You don't worry about what others. Make sure that they're registered and all that. Huh? That's right. So there are people who have come to me and they said, "Oh, we are doing this Sanskrit school." And I said, "Are you registered?" No. I said, "No, sorry, I'm not," because I don't know where the money is going, right, that way. But this is what he means, Sarva Bhuta. So first Vibhuti started with Aham. That thought, manifested thought, is vibhuti, but the yoga sthiti is me. So whenever that thought comes, you need to go think about me. Because he said, in what keshu, in what thing should I meditate? What things I should meditate? So first thing, first thought comes, think of me, right there, right there. Because vasana, you can't control. You don't know. So minute the thought comes, then of course when the action comes, yes, you gave me the strength to do this, you gave me this thing, now you take me. Everything should be you. What is our, ours is I. That should be changed to you. You is God, huh? Okay. So aham adishcha. I am Adi. I am the beginning, I am the middle, and I am the end. So even if this whole chapter you don't remember, or you don't understand fully, or whatever, because after this it's going to be really, really easy, because now he's going to say things like, I'm the Himalayas in the mountains and I'm Ganges in the river. So those type of things he's going to say, which is very simple. The simplest way is to remember this second line. He's the beginning, he's the middle, and he's the end. So everything. So birth, because of him, sustenance, because of him, destruction also because of him. So that you read. This, that you remember, sorry, Bhutana, I'm in the end. So he's also telling Arjun, details, there is no point. First of all, I don't have the time to tell you in detail. If I start in detail, means I will never end, because there is no end. That is number one, but you don't have to. You don't have to. And your start has to be with aham, your own self. That's why this becomes the most important verse in this teaching per se. This is the subjective. He starts subjectively. He's starting inside. Now he'll go outside. After this, he's going to go outside. So in this Gudakesh also, there is one, you conquer deep sleep. Okay, so if deep sleep is conquered, that is conquering tamas, deep sleep, right? Because deep sleep is tamas. And if you conquer, as your mind purifies, that is one test of a purified mind is less dreams. Sometimes, we have deep sleep, but sometimes there are people who dream a lot. That is rajas. So when you have less and less dreams, then know that rajas is getting conquered. Rajas is getting conquered because rajas and tamas are the impurities. So the mind, when it becomes rid of impurities, rid of rajas, will get rid of dreams or reduce them. There are times when still the dreams are there. And tamas is when you need less sleep. That's why we see people like Gurudev and all, 12, and then I think 4 he used to wake up, or 3 and 4 o'clock he was at his desk, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right? I think, yeah, 4, because Mrs. Kapai has told us. He used to stay there and she woke up and he's already dressed and showered and he's writing letters, replies. So imagine, and he was fresh all day long. So that is what is called conquering rajas. Deep sleep, because no dreams. So even that short, you have a power nap. Because when you go into deep sleep, then most fresh you are, right? Otherwise, if you're dreaming, especially, my God, in the morning, you're tired only. Like I've experienced that. Like I'm tired because I've been thinking in my dream. So that's conquering tamas and rajas. And Gudakesha is this thing. The more rajas and more tamas is there, understanding the knowledge becomes difficult. That is the problem. Why I should not have rajas and tamas? See, in the outside world, you need rajas. You have to be dynamic, you have to be active, you have to, go up the corporate ladder, you have to succeed, you have to get a promotion. So outside world, you need a lot of rajas. But we are now studying Vedanta, so we need more sattva. So those of us who are young and still working, it's okay. But you do it, but then at least bring the Lord in there. That thank you, Lord, you gave me the opportunity to do this. You gave me the strength to do this. You gave me the correct thought to do this. Whichever way that you can bring the Lord in, do that. Okay. We're going to stop here today. We will continue next time. And honestly, from now on, it's going to be external. It's going to be very easy. Now it's going to say, any questions? Okay, so next Sunday there is a class, and then next Sunday we will see what we want to do about the 9th. All right. So with that, I will close this class today and we will continue next time. ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्ति भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ हरि ओम everybody. Have a good day. And tomorrow there is class, Monday class. So I'll see some of you tomorrow. Okay. All right. Hari Om.